Welcome to April's episode of Match of the Month, where there were no shortage of Match of the Year candidates from many promotions. On the first day of the month, Ospreay finally managed to defeat Marty Scurll in one-on-one competition, and Okada managed to retain his IWGP Heavyweight title against this year's New Japan Cup winner Zack Sabre Jr. Kenny Omega and Cody finally stepped into the ring one-on-one at Supercard of Honor on WrestleMania weekend, which only seemed to fracture the Bullet Club further. WWE had an eventful April, putting on a WrestleMania to Remember featuring Ronda Rousey's debut and Kurt Angle's return in the same match. Near the end of the month, Braun Strowman won a 50-man Royal Rumble in the historic Greatest Royal Rumble event in Saudi Arabia, but in my opinion, this wasn't the biggest win of the month. This took place in the main event of NXT TakeOver New Orleans between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. This match perfectly captured how storytelling could propel a match to a whole new level. The initial seeds for this match were first sown in the Cruiserweight Classic, where Ciampa was first tormented by fans, siding with Johnny Wrestling. It all became too much for the Psycho Killer in 2017. Knowing he was injured, he viciously attacked his tag team partner to make an impact before months on the shelf. In his absence, Gargano struggled to let go of the past and find his feet as a singles wrestler until one day the stars aligned and Johnny Wrestling earned an NXT title match to kick off 2018. Despite throwing everything he had at the champion, Johnny was unsuccessful, and at one of the lowest moments of Gargano's career, his former tag team partner returned, stabbing him in the back. Ciampa vanished after this, only returning to cost his former best friends the NXT title in a rematch where Johnny's job was on the line. Released from the WWE, Gargano became hell-bent on getting his revenge until the two rivals were gifted an unsanctioned match where if Johnny won, he'd get his job back. This match was filled with allegories and hidden meanings right from the get-go, when Tommaso Ciampa entered the arena with no music, depicting the nothingness he feels towards the fans as the boos became deafening. The juxtaposition between Ciampa's silent entrance and fan favourite Johnny Gargano's upbeat theme is evident, demonstrating who each competitor was fighting for. Also, both entrances represented the change in attitude since they were a duo. With Johnny using a theme adapted from the DIY theme, he still represents the same valiant values, whilst Ciampa's attitudes couldn't be more different, the version of himself that couldn't pull the trigger on his best friend, dead. There's a clear contrast between this match and their Cruiserweight Classic qualifier 2 years earlier. Whilst that match was a technical showcase of athleticism and skill, this unsanctioned match was hard-hitting from the get-go. With few fancy wrestling moves, the duo almost literally tore the house down, throwing each other over the announcers' tables and ripping up the protective floor mats. This resulted in wince-inducing manoeuvres, including Johnny receiving a devastating lung blower from the top rope and Ciampa being powerbombed onto the exposed concrete floor. Character work was another aspect of this bout that can't be overlooked. While the Sicilian psychopath only expressed desperation to get rid of his partner by any means whatsoever, Johnny wrestled with resilience, but on many occasions almost let his desperation get the better of him. Ciampa's knee brace and crutch proved to be pivotal towards the end of the match when he removes the brace to strike Gargano with the exposed knee, but instead is struck in his injured knee with the brace by Gargano. Johnny snaps, manipulating the crutch until it's sharp, and in a fit of rage looks to maim Ciampa. Mirroring Ciampa from the original encounter, however, Gargano realised what he was about to do and couldn't bring himself to hurt his former tag team partner. As Johnny sits with Ciampa as they did after their first match, the Psycho Killer attempts to bludgeon Gargano, but showing he never lets his guard down, Johnny Wrestling avoids the strike and submits Ciampa using the brace to reinstate himself into the NXT roster. The combination of long-term storytelling, beautiful motifs, and a hard-hitting and emotional contest demonstrated how artistic pro wrestling can actually be, and by December, this match could go down as the best of the whole of 2018.